I got a new PC. Yeah. And what better way to break it than by putting it through the real test of RisxnTweaks. Today, I'm comparing stock Windows 10 versus the Risxn Extreme Tweaking panel, running on the exact same setup. We're talking about real benchmarks, by the way. I'm not gonna just do some weird process lowering shit. I'm talking about real benchmarks. I'm gonna be measuring DPC latencies and system responsiveness, and also I'm gonna be benchmarking input latency. Along with that, we're gonna check in-game FPS, 1% lows, frame times, so stay tuned. Let's get right into it. And just to prove how new this PC is, I installed Windows on this at 4 AM last night, and Fortnite is not even installed. So these are the apps that we're going to be doing the benchmarking on, and as well as Task Manager. And the game that we're going to be testing everything on is, of course, Fortnite. So let's get right into it. So first things first, let me show you the specs. The specs are an i5-12600KF CPU paired with a 3060 and also 32 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4, 3600 megahertz. On idle, my CPU utilization is close to 8%, 7 and 8%, and I have 145 processes under 44, and our memory is 3.8 gigabytes usage. For my GPU, it's because of the recording. First, we're gonna do timer resolution. How this works, basically, you just open this, run it for as long as it needs, and we'll see the timer resolution on my PC. So we're just gonna click enter on everything and wait for it to finish. Okay, here's the timer resolution results. All you need to know is this is the request sent by my PC to Windows. So basically, my PC asks for timer events every half a millisecond, but my Windows actually gave me events every 14 milliseconds, which is really bad. And this right here is the variables, like how they varied on average, just like what, 14, 13. So imagine you ask your friend to check the doorbell every half a second to see if someone's there, like you ordered something, but instead he checks every 14 seconds, which is a big difference. So this is really bad. Next up, we have latency mon. This right here measures the DPC latency. A high DPC latency means your audio or input devices might stutter or lag because the system is getting bogged down by drivers or background processes. So what I gotta do, run it for 60 seconds exactly. So I'm gonna run a time lapse and let's go out into it. Okay, so the current measured interrupt to process latency, it's not bad, it's good, it's very low. The highest measured interrupt to process latency is 209.30, which is not bad, it's still under 500, so that's normal. The highest reported ISR routine execution time is 22 point, well, not reading that, but that's also good, no concern. It's below 50, we're good. And the highest one is 390, which is below 500. Again, that's really good. And the reported total hard page fault count is 45, which is low and it's not going to affect performance. So overall, everything here shows that the system is clean and there's no driver delays or background processes, which makes sense. It's a new Windows install. There's nothing installed on this computer apart from benchmark tools on Fortnite and an OBS. Okay, now we're gonna run CapFrameX. So editor Ari here, and while I was recording the video, I actually forgot to mention that I'll be testing it in a map that's made to benchmark FPS and delays. And basically the purpose of the map is to simulate an end game, and that's where I'm going to be benchmarking the CapFrameX on. So let's get right into it. Okay, so you guys saw I just did the CapFrameX, but I'm not going to show it until the end of the video. But I have bad news. My internet service provider decided to change the routings, so I really can't use this to benchmark anything. This is going to have to be in another video. But for now time to use the Risxn Extreme Optimization panel. Okay, here's the panel. So I'm just gonna click everything and get on with it. Okay, I just finished optimizing my PC. I'm gonna restart it, and then we're gonna go ahead and see how it is in game and do the same testing again. Let's go. Okay, with OBS running, I'm on 57 processes, and let's go ahead and do the timer resolution benchmark again. We're gonna delete the old results, or actually just move them right here. And let's get new results and see how it is. I'm not going to change anything, the same value, same everything. Just pressing enter and see how it is. Alright, now that the results are over, I'm gonna go ahead and click the results. Let's see. I'm gonna put them up side by side and we can check them out. The tweaks definitely worked. I shaved off 3, maybe, okay. 8 is a final one, so that means around 6 milliseconds in latency, which is noticeable in the competitive FPS games. And the slight jitter, like we can see, has more jitter, but it's not noticeable and it's not a concern unless it becomes erratic, which it's not here. And these results indicate that it improved latency, stability of Windows, which can help lower input delay, especially in games like Fortnite. So okay, now we can go over to the next test, which is latency mon. So let's get right into it. 1 minute and 14 seconds was the other tests. So we're gonna have to do 1 minute and 14 seconds on this one as well. Okay, 1 minute and 14 seconds. So I'm really impressed by the tweaks. Now, the current measured interrupt process latency is very low, which means excellent responsiveness, and the highest measured is way lower than what it used to be. And we went from 45 page faults to only 1. So after applying the Risxn tweaks, the results are clean, my interrupt latency is low, VPC execution times from NVIDIA driver are within safe margins, and there's only 1 page fault. This means my system is now better optimized for real-time input and low input lag. And there's no audio dropouts, basically perfect for gaming. And now it's time for the big test, which is cap frame X, and let's get right into it. All right, so let's log numbers. Before that, all of these benchmarks were run inside a custom Fortnite creative map specifically designed to simulate in-game scenarios. That means intense builds, high player density, and chaotic visuals. Basically, the kind of pressure your system faces in real matches. So the numbers you're seeing here, they show real performance when it actually matters, which is in endgames. So, before the tweaks, I was averaging 230 FPS with 0.1% lows dropping as far as down as 9 FPS. The experience, it would be playable, but it would be far from smooth. Frame pacing was all over the place, so in endgame scenarios, this is really bad. But after applying the Risxn tweaks, every category saw major gains. Average FPS jumped to 390 FPS with a 69% FPS boost, and those nasty stutters, they were gone. And the 0.1 lows climbed from 9 all the way up to 132, which is insane. That is a 1,350 increase in worst case performance. Even frame time stability improved massively. What used to be 110 millisecond spikes got reduced down to under 8 milliseconds, making the entire game feel way more responsive. So yeah, these tweaks aren't just placebo, they're real system level optimizations. I didn't overclock, I didn't change my hardware. It's the same system, just a hell of a lot faster and smoother now. Of course, results may vary depending on your hardware and setup, but on my setup, running these tweaks made a clear night and day difference. These tweaks are real, and they're trusted by top pros in Fortnite's competitive scene. Guys like Peterbot, Zen, Poyo, and others rely on these optimizations to maintain their edge over the casual players. When the best players in the world use something, you know it's not placebo and it's not just hype. It actually works. Now, if you want to apply these tweaks yourself, check the link down below for 15% off, or use code YT15 at checkout. They're easy to apply and they're based on real measurements. They're not fake and they're not placebo. I use them personally, and I can say without hesitation, these tweaks are 100% recommended for anyone serious about improving their system's responsiveness and gaming experience. If this helped, drop a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one.